BackstageAxxess.com. We're here in Cleveland at the House of Blues with the lead singer of Default, Dale Smith. Dale, man, thanks for talking to us. Dale and the band just came out with a brand new single and CD, Comes and Goes. This is their third, I believe, or no, your fourth.
Yeah, fourth record, yeah.
Fourth studio effort, and I have a question. I know this kind of came out earlier, but now it's just been released in America this year. Why the delay, and why all of a sudden now is it kind of being re-released here?
It's strictly just for legal reasons. We had this record done late '07, early '08, and the label we were on in the States had a bunch of legal problems. So we were kind of hung in limbo, and luckily we were able to get Canada legally released at last year, and now it's finally able to get released down here. So. Yeah.
So it's basically a legal thing.
It wasn't by choice, no. Yeah.
See, when record companies get involved, everything gets screwed up. The band decided to go to Bob Marlette, who worked with Black Sabbath and Sheryl Crow to produce Come and Goes. Why did the band decide to go with Bob on this last release?
We used him on our third record. Just love Bob. He's a great writer, great producer. Just really gelled well with him. There was no reason to not work with him again. I thought that the record we did with him should have done better, and we wanted to give us and that combination of us working together another chance. So
obviously we're happy with the last effort, because a lot of bands, you know, they feel they want to take stuff in a different direction. So this time you still want to stay with the same guy then, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you could take things and you can learn from hearing the end result from the last record and build upon that and kind of point in different directions. It helps also when you work with a producer, you know how he does things, and right, you can kind of yeah, absolutely.
Modifications, was there any modifications to this release than the Canadian release?
Yes, I believe the following single, To Turn It On, will be Supposed to Be, and it's got a different feel to it. He changed the bass lines up a little bit. It's not too different, but it's a bit changed. Yep.
And I was talking about when this just came out, there is a single. What is the single again that you guys released on this?
First single is Turn It On. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the one that's kind of been modified then, right?
No, that's the next one. Next one's going to be modified. It's modified now. The one on this, where is it? Where are we here? Number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, number 8 is probably going to be our next single.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does the writing process take shape for you guys? You guys have been around for a while. You know, how does the song come together for Default?
We don't really have a primary writer in the band. We all just kind of build the track from the ground up. So start off with a guitar riff and just drums and bass, and then once the song gets a feel to it, you know, it kind of inspires a lyric idea or a melody idea, and we just kind of build it from the ground up like that.
Okay, so, you know, a lot of bands have a certain way of doing stuff, but you guys kind of just whatever feels and whatever goes, that's how you do it?
Yeah, that's kind of worked for us, you know. Yeah, it does work for us. So there's no real, sometimes songs happen differently for us, but for the most part, it's generally how it happens, yeah.
Well, the fans out there, I'm sure, know that you guys are pretty much, you know, have a lot of hits, wasting my time, throwing it all away, count on me to name a few. Does the record company put a lot more pressure on you guys, and that's possibly why you guys maybe had some issues with the record company, or was it something totally different? And now, you know, with putting this record out, like I said, do you guys feel any pressure putting something out, or you guys just do what you do?
We do what I do. I mean, any issues we had with the label really had nothing to do with what they were telling us. All their problems were strictly legal. I mean, with just them as an overall label, not individually with us. So, but yeah, we're extremely happy with this record, and nobody's put any pressure on us. You know, I think they all appreciate what we do for songwriting and what we come up with an end result, and just kind of leave it in our hands. So.
Influences, when you guys, you know, obviously you said whatever, how you guys come up with stuff has come up, there's no certain way, but your influences, where do they derive from?
Jeremy and myself, the guitar player, we're very Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin, Stevie Ray Vaughan, sort of the old school stuff. And then I think I could say the same thing for him. Kind of started appreciating music when we were growing up, when Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam came out, when that sort of classic rock sort of sound came out. It was grunge was a little bit classic rock, a little bit like the Pearl Jams, that portion of it, right? And
Chains too.
Alice in Chains, of course, yes. And but it's kind of all over the map. I mean, Danny drummer is a huge Primus fan. Dave's a Chili Peppers fan. Kind of all over the map, but kind of within that same genre. I mean, Chris Cornell, one of my favorite singers. Love Daniel Johns from Silverchair. It's just different bands. We all have our own thing, right?
Chad Kroger discovered you guys way back when and helped produce Fallout and Location. Are you guys involved with Chad in any way, or?
We didn't do any writing with this record with him, but I mean, he lives 15 minutes away from my place, and you know, he's a great guy, and we've been friends for a while, so you know, we all hang out every once in a while, and yeah.
I hear he has a hockey rink under his house or something. Is that true?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, of course, being Canadian, we're big hockey fans, so it's, you know, we got to go to Chad's house and play with the Courtnall brothers, Jeff and Russ Courtnall, and Cam Neely, and some ex-NHL players we looked up to when we were kids. So, you know, it's definitely a good friend to have because there's lots of perks like that, right? Who gets to go to this buddy's house and play hockey, right?
And play with Cam Neely. It's almost like a commercial, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
You guys are on tour with Hinder and My Darkest Days. When somebody comes out and sees a Default show for the first time, when the fans can expect?
We try to be a high energy band, and we've always prided ourselves on bringing what you hear the record to the live show. We always make sure that you're not gonna find. I sound differently than I do on the record, right? I always hated that when I was a kid. Loved a band, I'm gonna go see them live, and the singer's terrible. So I've really made sure that that doesn't happen with us. So.
When this tour wraps up, which I believe is a 5-week run with the other bands, what can the fans expect from you guys, the band Default, going into 2011?
Well, we've already toured a lot of our home country last year, so we're just going to concentrate on the U.S. and it's great to be back down here, and it's been a few years, so yeah, it's gonna be great.
We've been waiting for these guys to come back to the U.S. We're like, when's Default coming back? But now it's like that. You guys are with 2 other great bands, and you know, hopefully everybody goes out and checks this CD out and gets a copy. Comes and goes. It's in your stores now. There's no legal hassle. It's in the States. This is what everybody's been waiting for. Dallas, thanks a lot for talking to us. BackstageAxxess.com. Check these guys on the road.